Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist coming to you today from Ohio, way up here by the Great Lakes. Port Clinton. Got unloaded this morning and I'm stuck. Been working on a little piece here that I think is vital. We all understand this. And that would be the George Zimmerman and the Trayvon Martin incident down in Florida, in Sanford, Florida, which is really got the freaking networks revved up high in their bullcrap that they always do. But I'm going to steer completely away from any kind of racial issue because folks hate other folks for various reasons. They hate them for their color. They hate them for the way they speak. They hate them for the money they have or don't have. They hate them because they're uneducated or highly educated. They hate them because of their religion, the country that they're originally from, whatever. It's, if you want to find a reason to hate somebody, it's not hard to do. But we're going to deal with the lessons that we can learn from this. Okay? And the lessons we can learn, there's a couple of them here, and I'm going to read off something I've been working on for several days now. It's not very long, so I hope you'll bear with me, and I hope we all can learn something that we as gun owners and concealed carry permit holders can find educational. Because I think, in my opinion, from what little I know, is a bad judgment call on both of their parts. Okay? George Zimmerman made a bad judgment call in pursuing Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin made a bad judgment call, probably thinking he was doing something, the guy was a bad guy or something of that nature. Who knows? Who knows? We'll have to wait until the end of the trial, and find out what happens. Anyway, onward and upward. In the case of the George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin incident, there are lessons to be learned, regardless of the outcome of the trial of Mr. Zimmerman. I'm not going to get into politics of race or racism. What would be the point? Some white folks hate simply because of other folks' color. Some black folks hate whites because they're white. Neither side will listen or try to understand reason, therefore what's the point? And when I say neither side, what I mean is like you got the KKK and the Black Panther Party. All right, they're not going to listen to reason why they shouldn't hate folks that's not involved in that mess. Hate only knows hate. Ignorance breeds ignorance, whether it be the KKK or the new Black Panther Party. Rodney King said it best. Can't we all just get along? For some, the answer is a resounding no. For me, I sure hope we can. So the subject of this video, might does not make right. How true that statement is. Looking back, for instance, on the Rodney King affair all those years ago, anyone watching the video of Mr. King being beaten like that knows in their soul, in their heart and their soul, that the cops were wrong. But not only wrong, but that they were the criminals. Likewise, the idiots who rioted and in the process killed innocent people and burned down their own neighborhoods were also criminals. Two horrible crimes. Mr. King being beaten by the police and then them being acquitted led to hundreds of others. And in my opinion, the worst was the acquittal of the cops who were guilty of beating Mr. King. All the guilty parties and all their justifications for committing their crimes ring hollow to me to this day. Two wrongs do not make a right. We are a nation of laws. That is what separates us from true savages. And that will be the focus of this blog. Specifically, our duty as armed citizens and the laws that govern the use of deadly force. Moreover, not only the law, but the moral implications. I cannot speak for anyone else, but I know this. I could not live with myself if I were to ever hurt or kill an innocent person with a gun, knife, or whatever. This truck, for instance. I do not carry a handgun to be Bobby Badass. Nor do I own guns or knives for that purpose. I carry so that I can defend myself if, God forbid, someone or something, a dog, a snake, whatever, were ever to attack me. Whether their purpose is to rob, beat, or kill me doesn't come into it. My well-being and that of others will be my goal, not their well-being or their welfare. That didn't sound right, but all right, you know. So, I carry, and so do many of you, for self-defense. However, now and then, something like the Martin and Zimmerman incident happens, and it puts all gun owners, especially those who carry concealed, in a very bad light. Before I continue, let me make this very clear. I do not know all the facts in that case. However, I do know that Mr. Zimmerman continued to pursue Mr. Martin after the 911 operator told him, "We do not need you to do that." Now, that is supposition on my part. That last part about I know he continued to pursue him. I've heard other portions of that audio tape that says he went back to his car, but the evidence will show that at the trial. Okay, that was my assumption when I was writing this. We will find out after the fact, or after it's all done. But if that is true, that fact alone may convict Mr. Zimmerman for second-degree murder. Why? Some of you may ask. Because Mr. Zimmerman was not a police officer. He did not have on a uniform. He did not have a badge, nor did he have the authority to act like one. So, from Mr. Martin, that's Mr. Trayvon Martin's perspective, Mr. Zimmerman could have been trying to rob him, or worse. Possibly a simple misunderstanding that took a deadly turn. Who knows? Mr. Martin is dead, and no one can know what he was thinking. The lessons here, I think, are as follows. Mr. Zimmerman should have backed off when the 911 operator told him to. And like I said, I have heard another piece of tape, that audio that suggests that he did go back to his car, but I don't know. Like I said, the trial, we will find out. But the lesson from that, do what the authorities say to do unless there is an immediate threat to you or others. Lesson number 2. Mr. Martin had no idea who Mr. Zimmerman was or why he was pursuing him. Vice versa. Mr. Zimmerman did not know who Mr. Martin was, nor his intentions. Do we even now know Mr. Martin's intentions, or why he was there? Number 3, just because Mr. Zimmerman had a gun did not give him the legal authority to pursue someone who was not an obvious threat. And I know there's going to be people on here with all kind of hate mail messages and all. That's fine. Do it to it. If you're that ignorant, you don't want to try to see both sides, sorry for you. But for me, and I hope for the viewer as well, the first commandment of concealed carry should be to ask yourself this question. Is there a clear and present danger to you or others? If you cannot answer that with an unqualified yes, and what does unqualified mean? Yes, but. Okay, you gotta put 3 or 4 reasons in there. Yes, but. No, if you can't just say yes, there was a clear and present danger, then you're in trouble. You need to wait and see what develops. Those who look for trouble will usually find it. In this case, 2 lives in all likelihood have been destroyed because of a mutual misunderstanding and, in my judgment, an overzealous amateur. If, in the end, I am wrong about Mr. Zimmerman, I will apologize on here. Okay? Regardless, we must realize the lessons that this incident had to teach us, and we must learn from it or suffer the same or an even worse fate. All the guns and knives and training in the world will not replace using good judgment. Do not judge a book by its cover, nor a person by his or her looks. Rather, judge by the content of their character and or their actions. Like the old saying goes, actions speak louder than words. I think that it is truly a tragedy that this incident happened. However, the aftermath and the raw hate shown by people who are not even involved is, at least to me, shocking. Have we progressed so little in the past 40 years that, ladies and gentlemen, well, I screwed that up. However, after the aftermath and the raw hate shown by people who are not even involved is, at least to me, shocking. Have we progressed so little in the past 40 years? That, ladies and gentlemen, is a tragedy here. And that leads us back to Mr. Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? Thank you for listening. I hope it made some sense of some kind. If you have questions, if you have points you would like to make, please do so. If you get on here and you racial slurs and all this kind of stuff, you're just an idiot. That's all I can tell you. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with a Shade Tree Survivalist. Y'all have a good day.